Hi, welcome to Record Time. My name is Mina. I'm super happy to be here with you, and I'm excited to dive into this week's message from the Akashic Records. So, they shared a short little written blurb, and then there's more to it. So, I'm going to read this first part, and then we'll see what else they have to share. And we'll just go from there. Okay. So they share, the grace you seek is within you. The permission you seek is within you. The necessities for beautiful change are within you. The essential seeds of transformation are within you. The only thing required is the courage to try. So, as you're as you're taking that in and letting that kind of swirl into your being, into your consciousness, what occurred to me upon receiving that was, how do we cultivate courage when we might be feeling some fear of the unknown? And I don't know how that first part resonates with you, or what part of your life it might make you think of, if anything, if it resonates at all. But sometimes when we're wanting transformation, when we're wanting things to change, when we want the permission and the grace to do things differently, there is a requisite courage that needs to be there. And so, with all that in mind, whatever context you're bringing to this, it felt like it's a relevant question. How can we cultivate courage when we might be feeling some fear of the unknown, when we're on the cusp of change or desiring change? So we'll see what they have to share about that. So there's something percussive about this, almost like hands clapping, and or like a drum beat, something, again, percussive, even kind of like tapping yourself or shaking in a rhythm. And that's kind of the imagery or the sound, the vibration that's present, upon asking this question, how can we cultivate courage? And there's this kind of percussive response, and that it takes repetition and a willingness to be a little bit shaken. So you can imagine, if you watched someone clap their hands in slow motion, or watched the surface of a drum in slow motion when someone's beating it in a rhythm, there's a vibration, it's shaking, right? And that's the thing that participates in making the sound, I'm assuming, right? It's the vibration that makes the sound. So it's like, when you're cultivating courage, it's almost like your spirit is being asked to clap. Are you being willing? Are you willing to kind of have a little bit of contact? And it's not like being hit by something, but there's contact in clapping. There's this meeting of life, where it's like, I'm willing to meet life and be moved by it, to be shaken by it, and maybe, and to kind of feel the vibration of life meeting me. And so there's this sense of a joyful willingness to lean in and clap along. And it seems like every instance, as we're trying to cultivate the change we desire, as we're trying to cultivate our desires, whatever it might be, there will likely be many points on the journey that you are being asked to be courageous. And every one of those moments is the beat. It's like the instance of impact to create a sound, to create an effect, a vibration that will ripple out. And I know that this is all quite abstract. And so there's also this kind of of course, there's always this invitation to contemplate this at your own pace and let it just kind of sit in the background with you and see if it might land and kind of create clarity over time. So if this isn't really making sense right now, it's okay. But yeah, there's this sense of every time you're being invited to be courageous, it's like the beat of the drum. And so there's this sense of like, okay, I am willing to, meet life. I'm willing to be a little bit brave. I'm willing to be shaken and to actually not really know how it's going to go. And they're saying that is like the act of being courageous. And part of that is like this joyful willingness, this almost like quality of like enthusiastically leaning in and touching in with the excitement that might be next to the fear. So kind of connecting in with that of, ooh, yeah, I'm excited. And something, I don't know what's going to happen, but it might be interesting. And with that too, it's like, how do we come to be joyfully willing to do that? And there's this sense too of like the top of us almost, it's like the surface of the drum is moving, but the bass is really still. It's really grounded. And so there's this invitation when you're trying to cultivate courage of, what is it that you need to feel safe enough to try? What is it that you need to feel safe enough to try, to do one clap, one instance, one little moment of answering the call to be courageous? It's not about figuring out how you're going to have enough courage to do the whole task, to get you through your whole transformation, to carry you through the entire endeavor, because it's a lot of little moments of courage that will be required along the way. So it's just coming into right now. What do I need to feel safe enough to try right now? Right? So it's like to have the courage to try. It's like, what do you need to feel safe enough to try? And so there's this kind of liminality that they're speaking to here, where it's like, I have my feet touching in with safety and my hands are free to kind of clap and touch the unknown. So it's like you have one foot in safety and one foot in this like joyful willingness to meet the unknown. And so this really isn't about like taking a really bold leap of faith and risking everything and really taking yourself completely out of a sense of safety. This is saying, what do I need to take the safety with me when I'm doing something that would normally make me scared and feel unsafe? How can I bring the safety with me? And that is one way to tend to and cultivate courage, is having ways to touch in with safety even when you're scared. And that might look like putting a hand on your heart and saying, I'm okay. This is scary, this is hard, but I'm okay. Feeling your heartbeat, it's like, okay, my heart is still beating. That's the vibration. My heart is beating. It could be giving yourself a hug. It could be talking with a friend. It could be doing your practice. It could be sitting outside. It could be taking a breath. There's infinite ways to kind of touch in with safety, these little to-go versions, having like a little safety snack along the way. And so that's really the anchor, and that's the thing to take with you. How can you stay tethered to a sense of safety so that you have the boldness, the willingness, the courage to try, even though you don't know what's going to happen? Knowing I am safe enough to try. So that's where I'm going to leave you for today. And if this sparks something in you, if this inspires something in you, I'd love to know kind of what comes up for you. And so you're welcome to leave a comment or send me a message and share. what this stirred up in you. I feel like there might be one more little piece, so I'm gonna just listen for a moment and see if there was anything else there. Yeah, they're saying the question to take with you, the inquiry for this week is, what do I need to feel safe enough to try? So if courage seems out of reach, if you don't know how to cultivate courage, the question underneath the courage is, what do I need to feel safe enough to try? Okay. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you next time. Namaste.